So we'll get our acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Volkswagen Taos and the SEL trim package. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to Southtown Volkswagen for giving me some time with this Taos. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get straight into the video. So under the hood we have a turbocharged 1.5 liter 4-cylinder that's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 28 around town and then 36 on the highway, with power outputs being 158 horsepower and then 184 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end. So first off, I really like the body lines here on either side of the hood. Now they don't pop out too much in this white paint, but in other colors they really stand out and it looks really good. And then here on the side, definitely gives it a nice muscular look. And then coming down below, we have these IQ lights, is what Volkswagen calls them. We've got the LED projectors with the accent lights, and I love how this accent light continues into the chrome here, and it's actually an LED as well, so it's cool that you've got like chrome mixed with the LED. And here's a closer look so you guys can actually see what that looks like. Got the Volkswagen logo there in the center, and then notice how the other LED goes down into that portion of the grille. Really cool from a design perspective. And then I like this here on the side as well with the venting, and then you've got the blacked out trim right there. And yeah, other than that, that is everything from the front end perspective, and it looks really good. Now coming on the side here, we've got two 15mm tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then they've gone for an all blacked out design here with the wheels. So here's kind of a closer look so you guys can see that just a little bit better. And there's a look at what we can kind of see of the suspension. We have our Taos logo on the center. And then notice that we've got the plastic molding here that goes all down the side. And then we've got the two-tone mirrors, black on the bottom, white on the top. You can see the crossbars here on the top with the panoramic sunroof, and wait for it, that's everything for the side. So here's the rear cargo area. So first off, we actually have the cargo cover, and then we have all of our mats that come with this, and you actually do get rubber mats, which is definitely nice. And then if we pick all of this up, which we have a cover here for the back, we've got this little string that you pull up, and then that's where the spare tire lives out its days. And other than that, that's everything for the rear. So yeah. Now let's finish things up here in the rear. So first off, we get the Volkswagen logo and just draw a line straight down and it goes to the Taos logo. Usually car makers put the model logo on the side, so it's pretty interesting they put it there in the middle and then the trim level there on the side. And then here are the taillights. I really like the design with those. And then we have parking sensors along the bottom, and that's all for the rear. Now here's the door panel in the back. So we have this gray trim right here, and then you've got soft touch trim where you're actually going to rest your arm. And then we've got these really nice leather seats here. Notice you have a mix between the gray and then the black perforations all throughout the center, which we'll step in here. Legroom is great, and then headroom, pretty solid. I almost touched the top, but not quite. And then notice that we've got some vents right here with a little USB, and then we got a light up top, and then you can see the panoramic sunroof. And then some cup holders with the armrest. Let's head to the front. Now here's a door panel in the front. So notice that you've got the soft touch here with the stitching, and then more where you're actually gonna rest your arm. You've got your window controls in that area with the mirror adjustments, the door lock and unlock up above, and then the gas cap release. And then here are the seats at the front. So again, we've got these really nice leather seats with the mix between the gray and the black. Power adjustments on the side. And then here are the pedals down below with the hood latch release, light control, and then you've got more leather stitching right there. And there's one more look before we pop in. Now here is the steering wheel. We've got nice leather wrapped around it, and then we have the contrasted stitching there in the center. Some controls for the center stack, and then voice commands as well. And then you've got like volume controls. That's for the radio stations if you're wondering. Adaptive cruise control on the other side. And then I really like the material here on the airbag cover. It definitely looks cool and unique. And then we have the little turn signal / light stock. We've got our windshield wiper stock on the other side, and that's all for the steering wheel. Now here is the center gauge cluster, and as you can see, it is massive. It's this giant screen. So we have the navigation screen right here, but we can actually change the screen view. So there's a couple different menus you can scroll through, but just like what you get in the Audis with the virtual cockpit, this pretty much has something that is, somewhat similar. Notice that we can even zoom in and out here with the navigation. So overall, this whole center screen area is fantastic. It looks really cool and modern. Now here's the center infotainment system. First off, we'll go over the camera. So we've got the backup camera, trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. Resolution's pretty good, and well, that's all for that. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, you can see there's a bunch of shortcut buttons right here. We've got to make sure the volume's off so we don't get copyrighted. But anyways, we've got the shortcut buttons on the outside. Actuation on them is really nice. You just like lightly tap and then it instantly happens in terms of the response. Overall, the infotainment system's great. Response time's literally instantaneous. And you can see that we can go like to the vehicle tab, for example. We go back to menu, and then notice that we have legal notices. I think this is pretty interesting that it's just like in the infotainment system. It'll obviously take a second to load up, but notice that you have all these different notices that come with the car, and I think it's funny that they like threw that just like as a tab here in the infotainment system. I think that's pretty interesting, but yeah, that's all for that. So we've got some more leather and stitching here that continues to that side of the door panel. It all connects nicely. Some vents down below. We've got the dual zone climate controls. This does come with heated seats, automatic climate, and then notice we've got some USBs right there, wireless phone charger. Here is the shifter for that 8-speed automatic. We've got our engine stop start button, parking brake right there, and then an auto stop start, and then this does have a manual shift function if you guys are wondering. That's what that S plus and minus is for, but that's all for that. We've got some cup holders right here, and then we've got the center console, which is kind of interesting because there's this little like cave portion of it. That is where the center console Yeti hides if you look very closely. But anyways, we've got the glove box right here, and then again, I love how that connects, but then also the dash here, that connects too. It looks really good. Now finishing things here at the very top, full panoramic sunroof. We've got the controls for the sunroof just right here in this area, and then we've got the light controls, which are just regular lights. You just press the button right there, and well, that's all for the top. So we've got the window sticker here for the 2022 Taos, and if you guys want to see all the standard equipment, feel free to just freeze the frame right there so you guys can read through everything this has, then also the warranty information as well. And then you can see this has a couple optional packages added to it. But there's your total MSRP, $34,405. Let's take this bad boy out and see how she drives. Let's talk about visibility here. First off, you can see visibility over the hood, and it's cool again to see the raised portions. And then here's your visibility through both the mirrors. They do have blind spot monitoring, and then the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So setting off here in the Taos, and sorry if I am not pronouncing that properly. I will blame it on the fact that I am an uncultured swine. Isn't that what we call it? But anyways, let's talk about how this drives. So first off, from a ride quality perspective, it's actually really nice. Pretty smooth over unevenness in the road. And so yeah, it definitely does a good job of soaking things up, and it doesn't get upset. That road back there is perfect because it hasn't been paved in a minute. This road right here, that was recently paved, so a little bit different story. But yeah, definitely good from that perspective. I do like the turbocharged 1.5 liter. With that 8-speed automatic, it keeps it right in the power band where you need it, so you always get torque all the time. Definitely feels really good, and feels like it's the perfect amount of power for that kind of like around town speed. And well, let's see kind of how the turn-in is here. That's pretty good. Definitely feels slight amount of torque steer. Again, this is front wheel drive, so kind of expected. It definitely has that boosted feel. Definitely feels good. I like that turbo lag because it creates a little bit of drama. And then something I do want to mention is the steering's very light, but it's still pretty direct. So we'll get our acceleration here. Definitely smooth with the acceleration. Transmission's very quick, very snappy. Again, keeps it right where it needs to be in the power band. It just has a nice smooth acceleration to it. You guys heard the power figures. It's not like it's crazy quick or anything like that, but it's more than adequate. And this turbocharged engine does great at elevation. Right here, we're at about 4,400, 4,500 feet elevation. And so yeah, that turbocharged engine is just really strong with where we are at. And then when you're at higher speeds with this, still quiet in the cabin, still nice from a noise insulation perspective, so solid with that. I like the feeling of the turn signal. There's nice like rivets on the turn signal, which is kind of interesting. I've never felt that with a car before. It's hard to explain, but there's like a place where your finger goes, and so it gives it a nice feeling when you actually press it with the actuation. And again, we'll kind of see with the turn in here. Yeah, transmission is really quick and responsive, so it just gets it right into the power band, and then you're just off and on your way. But let's get into summing things up now with the Taos. So first off, again, from an exterior aesthetics perspective, I think this looks fantastic. I just love it from every single angle. I think it looks a lot better compared to the Tiguan. I will say that, I'm just being honest. Interior wise, I really like the design with the interior. Interior materials are great. Everything that you touch is very nice. Like the steering wheel, the shifter feels nice. The seats are very comfortable, really nice. The bolsters, they hold you in place, but if you are like a heavier person, right, you're a wider person, then you can still fit in these seats, so that's definitely a huge plus. I love the digital gauge cluster. Infotainment system's really responsive and great. And then from a driving perspective, it's smooth, it's quiet as well. Acceleration, again, it's not crazy fast, but it's more than adequate, and this gets great fuel economy, so I'm not going to complain there whatsoever. And yeah, just overall, it's a really good package, and the price point this is at, it's definitely reasonable for this type of SUV. So if that's what you're looking for, check out this new Taos. And again, sorry if I did not pronounce that properly. Let's get sum things up for our review. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to Volkswagen Southtown for giving me some time with this 2022 Taos. Check out the inventory in the link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.